And today we are going to cover about loops. So I would request you guys also not speaking, please go on mute. So let us write one program, but before that,
Danish, I can't see your screen.
you can't see my screen.
Yes.
Anyone else who is not able to see my screen?
No.
No,
We are
I'm able to see. I'm able to see.
Okay, fine. Fine, suppose, okay, let me write a simple program here. Okay, this is only printing test. Saving it. Day3, right? Day3, this is like, let's say for the test. Okay, so I have this program, and this is only having a single line in where we are printing test. Okay, and we'll go to this and open command prompt. So, guys, how can I run this program from command prompt? Anyone remembers? So the name of this file is test. Okay. So, so far what we are doing, we can just directly run from here as well, like a run module. We are going to get the output. But if I want to run from the command prompt, then I have to type this, right? Like Python and the name of the file. So in this case, it's test.py. Okay. So I will just run this. Can you guys see the output for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happens generally, like what we see, we write a .py file, okay, and then we execute, we see the output, okay. But internally, what the compiler is doing. So whatever the code that we are writing now, so in this case we are writing print test. Okay, this is called source code. Okay, source code, like the code which we are writing. Okay, this first, so the compiler which we install using the Python official website, the Python which we install, that is the compiler we are installing. Okay. So that compiler internally, it converts this .py file, this source code to bytecode. Okay. This is done by the compiler. Internally, we are not able to say it. So this .py file gets converted to .pyc file. Okay. Then what happens? This bytecode is again like changed to machine code with the help of Python virtual machine. Okay. And then we see the output. Like this is the flow that happens internally. Source code what we are writing, it gets converted to bytecode.pyc file. And this bytecode.pyc file you can share with anyone. Like suppose, let's say I am running this program in Windows operating system. And if you share this .pyc file with someone who is having a Linux system or Mac, if they have the Python installed in their system, then they will be also able to run the same code without making any changes. Okay, that is why Python is called platform independent. Run it once and execute it anywhere. Clear, guys? Any doubt?
Where can I get that PYC file?
Yes, good question. Just a moment. Generally, you can't see this .pyc file, but if you want to generate, for example, in this case, test.py, right? I want to generate that .pyc file for this. Okay, so you have to write. You have to run it like this. I will just show you. Python -m and py_compile and the name of the file. So in this case, it is test.py. Okay, you have to run it like this. So this one is pretty same for everyone. This line, okay, Python -m py_compile, and then this is the module name that we have created. Okay, so if I run this in command prompt, okay, I hope we are recording the session. Just a moment. Yeah. So I have ran this. Okay, guys. Now if I open the folder, you see one folder got created _PyCache. Okay, if I open this, you see this. This is the compiled file. If you see the type of this, see compiled Python file. Can you see it? Okay, and the name becomes test.cpython -311. Okay, this is the module name test what we have written, and the cpython 311, that is the compiler details. Okay, this becomes the name. So open the properties, you see this is a .pyc file, and this is the name of it. Okay, and now you can share this file with anyone having different operating system. They can also execute this. They don't have to write the code again. Clear, guys? And now if you want to run this file, okay, you can also run it in your system, this .pyc file. Okay, so if you want to run this file, then you have to just go back to the command prompt. So cd. So we are just we will just move to this _PyCache, right? I'll just go to this location and I will open I will go to this location. Let's open the command prompt. Yeah. So it is here, and I will just write this command. It will going to execute this program. File name is test dot. What did we got here? The name is cpython -311, right? Yeah. So test dot c. Let me copy this name. Test dot cpython. Okay. It's a .pyc file, right? So .py. If I execute this code here, okay, it is going to give me the same output. Yes. Clear, guys? This is to generate. So these are some in some interviews they will ask you this question. Okay, what is a .pyc file? Okay, or why Python is platform independent? So if you know this concept, then you can easily answer it. Any doubt? Any question, guys? Running command and then execute it. So if you see this document, first we have .py file source code. It gets converted to bytecode with the help of Python compiler, and this bytecode then gets converted to machine code, and then it is executed by the processor, and we see the output in the computer. Okay, we see the output in the console. When we execute, we directly see this step, but these steps are it happens internally. We are not able to see. Clear, guys? Any doubt, anyone? Understood? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So I hope this is clear. I will share this document with you. You can keep it handy with you, guys. Fine. So this is done. Now, last day we covered about this if else condition, guys, right? If elif else condition.
Sir, one doubt.
Yes.
So while executing the Python script, every time the same flow happens, or how it
Yes.
goes, sir?
Yes. Every time the same flow happens.
Okay. Or I mean, like executing the same file.
Yes. If even if you execute the same file, same thing will happen.
Okay.
Okay, so we said last day we covered if else else condition. Okay, like suppose I want to check. I want to check whether number is even or odd. Okay, so let me take a number as input from the user. Okay, this is the number I have taken as input. If I want to check even or odd, guys, what conditions shall I write here? Anyone?
Num modulo tools.
Mod, oh, sorry. If num modular 2, right, equals to 0, then print is odd,
Oh, even
right, guys? Else
even
print,
it should be.
okay, it should be even, right? That's what I'm like, checking how much alert you guys are. Okay, this one is odd, first one is even. Fine, so here on this, enter a number, 12 number is even. Okay. Now we have something called inline if. Like we can, if there is only one condition to check, we can do it in a single line. Okay, only one condition to check. We can do it in a single line. Okay. For example, where is my, yeah. So if I copy this on to, okay. So this is the syntax. I will explain you the syntax. So in this, for example, take this example where you're checking even or odd. Okay, we can do that in the same line only, one line only. Okay. So we'll give the condition first if num mod 2 equals to 0. So this is the expression, like if, so if, and this is the expression. Okay. If it is true, then what will happen? I will print it is even. Okay. Else, if it is false, I will print odd. It's odd. Okay, we can do it in a single line also like this. If it is true, then we will, whatever come before if, this will execute before if it is true. Okay. If this condition is false, then this is going to be executed. Okay. Let me save and run this. Enter number 13. Why it is printing 2 times? Okay, here also we are printing, right? Yeah. So, but the same, if it is only one condition, we can do it in a single line also. Okay. This is also called inline if. You understood, guys? So this is the basic syntax. If and then the expression. So expression is this one. Okay. It's true, then this will be executed. False, then this will be executed. Okay, everyone. Anyone having any doubt, guys?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay. So this basically completes our. Let me ask you one question here. Let's suppose we have a question like this. What should the question? Yeah. A user is entering 5 numbers as input. Okay. 5 numbers as input. You have to find the largest number among the 5 from the 5. Okay. Okay, let's say we have 5 inputs and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay. So I'm just hard coding the inputs for the time being. You can you can have take it from input function also. So you guys will tell me the logic, how can I find the largest maximum or the minimum number from this set of numbers? Okay. Can anyone help me in writing this code? So this is called problem solving, guys. Okay. The main objective of learning any programming language is to solve the problem. Okay. So this kind of problems now, daily assignments will get some type of problem. So you should be familiar with how to solve this kind of problems. Okay. So we will focus on problem solving more. Now anyone can tell me the code that I have to write to achieve this.
Uh, we can consider first number as the largest, and yeah, then we will compare with other ones one by one. If it is second one is greater than the already assumed largest, then it will we will assign that second one. If it is not, then we will keep moving like that, and till the end we will get the largest.
Okay, is this Shivam?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good approach. Any other approach, guys? Anyone coming to anyone's mind?
Another one we can do is that we can sort and in descending or ascending, and we can keep first or last one. But that is not preferable, I guess.
Yes. So right now, I have to solve it with the things that we have learned only. Okay. Whatever we have learned so far, we have to sort. We have those things available to us only. We have to sort it with those tools only, like if and if conditions and logical operators. So, okay, guys, whenever you solve a problem, guys, always remember, if you can, what do we call? If you can write a step-by-step approach for this, okay, then it will be very easy to solve. You just, for example, in this step 1, what are we going to do? Like, suppose n1, right? So very simple. It's very simple. So if I will just check if n1 is greater than all the remaining numbers n2, n3, n4, n5. Okay, if this is the case, then we will print that n1 is the largest. Clear, guys? Similarly, if this is not the case, then what are we going to check? We are using an else if statement, right? And we'll check whether n2 is greater than everyone. Right? In this way, in this fashion, we have to approach this problem. Clear to everyone? What is the approach we are going to follow here? Yes, no, guys, understood, not understood? Now you tell me this line, how can I achieve it in Python? This line, first line. Tell me how will I achieve it here? What will be the code for this? Can I write something like this?
If
If
nested
if n1 greater than n2, okay. Can I use it and condition with everything? And n1 greater than n3,
Yes.
and n1 greater than n4, and n1 greater than n5. Okay, then we can print n1 is the largest with the f string. Okay. N1 is the largest. Clear, guys? Next we can next condition we can have na elif. Same thing only. I will just replace n1 with n2 and n2 with n1. Like if n2 greater than n1 and n2 greater than n3 and n2 greater than n4 and n2 greater than n5. Okay. So there will be better approach as we learn more of Python, but this is only for learning like solving problem with what we have learned so far, if else and operators.
But that is, do we need to write into greater than n1? It is repeat to right? We have already compared this in the first if statement.
Now, let's suppose okay, so n1 is 12 here and n2 is 23 here. Okay, so if n1 greater than n2, is this true or false?
One greater than n2 false.
False, so automatically it will come to the next condition.
Yes.
But there might be cases where let's say n1 is greater 54. Okay, and we have something called 555. Now in this case, this is true. N1 is 54, N2 is 23, right? And if we come to 23 here, and in the next condition, if we check N2 is greater than N1, no. So we have to check with all the this variables, okay? Because these are AND operators, so we have to check with all the operators.
Okay.
Is my print statement correct, guys? You have to correct me, okay? I make a lot of mistakes while coding.
You have to give placeholder. It's wrong.
placeholder.
Yes, we have to give placeholders. Okay, again, elif, again the same thing. You have to copy. N3 greater than N1, N3. Let's take only 3 numbers for the time. Okay, don't want to go into 5 numbers. So, if both the condition is false, guys, then what we can assume? Let me remove these conditions also, because there is nothing called N4 and N5. If N1 is not greater, N2 is not greater, then automatically what can we assume? Which one is greatest?
N3.
Largest N3, right? So we don't have to check any condition. Okay, so if I run this unmatched, we have an extra bracket here. Till number 12, even 54 is the last. Clear, guys, how to approach this kind of problems if you face any?
Yes.
Guys, am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So in case of loops, guys, so why do we need loops? Okay. First thing, if we want to do anything, if we want to, let's say, repeat same step multiple times, we need loop. Okay. For example, let's say print welcome 10 times. If we don't have loops, then what we will do, we will write 10 print statements. Okay. Welcome, again, welcome. Okay. So to avoid this, guys, we can use a loop to, where we have where we will have only one print statement, but it is going to loop is going to print it 10 times. Okay. So this in case of while loop, these steps that we are doing that should be done. Okay. First initialization, I will tell you what it is. Then we check the condition, and then we have we can say change the um, we can say what do we change here? We change we update the initialize, we update. I'll tell you what it is. Okay. For example, in this case, in the above problem statement that we are going to solve, like print welcome 10 times, right? So here we have to take a counter, okay, that is going to count till 10. Okay. So let's initialize it to 0, or let's say 1. Okay. Now while loop syntax is very simple, guys. We will give here a while. This is a while keyword. Okay. And then we will check the condition. Okay. So condition checking is I want to execute 10 times. So I have to, take a while counter less than 11. I have mentioned this. Okay. While counter less than 11. So this is this step what we are giving count equals to 1. This is initialization. Okay. Initialization. Condition checking expression. This is the condition checking while count is less than 11. Okay. So count initially, guys, what is the value of count?
One.
1. So 1 less than 11 is true.
Yes.
So if it is true, it will enter this while loop. It will print welcome and it will increase the value of count. Okay. Next time, so it will print this count, it will be 2. It will again come back. Now count is 2. It will check 2 less than 11. Yes. 3 less than 11. Yes. 4 less than 11. Yes. So when the value of count will be 11, 11 less than 11, it will be false and it will come out of the loop. Clear, guys?
Yes.
This condition, what we are changing, count equals to count plus 1. This is called updating the value. Now tell me what will happen if I don't update the value of count. If I don't do this, then what is going to happen?
It will be infinite loop.
Yes, it will be an infinite. Okay, I will just show you that. So it will see count equals to 1. Okay. Condition check. Yes. Print welcome. Again, it will go back here. Count less than 11. Yes. So 1 will always be less than 11, right? We are not changing the condition. So it will be an infinite loop. Clear, guys? So see now, if I run this, I'm not changing the value of count. Let's see what happens. Okay. So it will keep on printing welcome. See, just keep on printing welcome. I have to stop it forcefully by pressing Control C. I hope it stops. Control C is not working. Oh, still printing. Control D. Yeah, so I forcefully stopped it, guys. You see keyboard interrupt. Okay. Otherwise, this would have continued printing welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. But if we change the condition, update the condition, and then we run it, then we have only 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can, print here only. Welcome. And inside this, I will print count. Okay. So if I run this now, oh no, why the count variable is not showing it? Welcome.
F is not there. F is not there in this.
Right, F string, right? So now we have welcome 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear, guys, you don't have to write print statement 10 times. You are just executing this in a code which in a loop, which this loop is getting executed 10 times. Any doubt, anyone in this? Understood, guys? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, anyone having any doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay, because everyone will have their own level of understanding. Okay, now we can this is fine. We can also see it, here. Day3, right? So let me open this. So this is here also you can write your code, okay? And in this, you can see the execution visualize. So it will be even more, you will have even a better understanding, okay? So let me write my code in this particular here, and I will just put my code here and visualize execution, okay? So initially count is 1, guys, okay? So I am doing a forward here. Now it comes to the loop, okay? Now, what is the value of count, guys? You see here 1 written in this global frame. Okay. So I click forward, it's printing 1, and count equals to count plus 1. Condition is changing. Now, what is the value of count, guys? You see here, updating.
Yes. Yes.
2. And our control is where this yellow line shows this is the line executing. Okay. So after this 1 plus 1, 2, it is again coming back to the while loop. Again, condition will be checked. Okay. Again, next, again it will print welcome. Again, it is changing the count. Again is going to the condition. Right. This will help you in visualizing what is getting executed. You can see it in front of you. So this will help you understanding even better. Right, guys?
Sir, this is known as dry run, right?
This is known as,
Dry run.
you can say dry run. No, not a dry run. You can, you can do it in this one. ID is also using your debugger. Okay, to see each value, what is the value getting updated. Okay, you can do it that way also, and you can do it here also. There you will see all the values getting updated. Okay. Clear, guys? Understood? Yes, no?
Yes, understood.
Okay. So this is a simple while loop. Now, let's say the value of count is 12.
How can we debug here?
Yes, we can debug here also. We can debug here also. For example, what you have to do for debugging here, you go to your console where you're seeing the output. Okay. And you will have, see this debug option is here. Okay. Click on this debug, go to debugger, fine. And when you execute your code now, run module. So this is the debugger is getting on. Okay. Now I will just click on over. So so if you see this, the value of count here pops up to 12. That is the first line what we are initializing. Count equals to 12, right? So count equals to 12 here. Can you see this?
Yes, yes.
Then again, if we click on over, so now it is checking the condition. Okay. Since this condition is getting false, it is coming out, and we are not getting print. It's not printing anything. Okay. So now you see these buttons are also disabled now. Now we are not able to click on anything. Over quit out. Okay. So here the debugger is little bit different, but in PyCharm the debugger will be much better. When we run PyCharm, we'll see there also. Okay. So if we change the condition, let's say I'm making count as 5. Now you can, now if I run this, so if you click on over, so count is 5, and this particular statement, see line number 14 print 12. If I maximize this, now this function line number 14 print welcome, this is going to be executed. Again, the value of count is changing to 6. It will change to 7. It will change to 8. This is changing here. Okay, the last line here count. This one, but it is little bit not that user friendly. What we saw here, it is not like that, right? And this particular thing is showing us much better output, right? Okay, guys, this is how debugger you can debug here also, but it's a little bit difficult, so I will not suggest don't try to debug here. Okay, we'll see in PyCharm how we can debug it better.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, so one peculiar thing about Python with the help of this while loop is, which I have not seen in other programming languages, you can use while with else. For example, let's say count is 12. Okay. Now count is 12. Then will this, while this condition will be true or false, guys? While count less than 11, if count is 12,
False.
false, right? So if it is false, always remember when the condition is false, it will not enter this while loop. Okay, it will come to the else block. Print count is greater than 11. Or instead of count, I can just give the variable. Okay, 12 is greater than 11. So this is very unique thing in Python. Else I have not seen it this in other programming languages like Java and all. Okay, if this condition is false, it will enter the else block. Yeah, guys, understood this?
Yes, understood.
Okay, now, what if I give here while true? What is going to happen, guys, if I give while true and execute this? What is
It will
going
enter into the loop and it will print.
Okay, and will it come out of the loop? Are we updating the condition?
Yes.
How will it come out of the loop?
No, 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 no.
Here we are hard coding the condition as true.
So will it be false anytime?
No.
In this code, no.
No, no,
So,
no, no.
so what will happen? It will enter into an
Infinitely.
infinite loop. Clear, guys? Infinite loop, finite loop.
Then else won't be executed, right?
This else will not be executed. Yes, because if it enters this while block, na, for example, let me comment out this. Let's say count is 1. Okay, so and if I execute this, so count less than 11, yes, it will print all those things. And the last step when count will be 12, then it will check this condition. It is false, it will enter this as block. Okay, when the condition will be false. So if I run this, so it will print welcome 10 times, and 11th, when the value of count will be 11, it will check this condition, and then it will come out. It will execute the else block. Okay. Clear, guys? Yes, no? Understood, not understood?
Yes.
In other programming, how they're handling the else part?
Else part is not handled.
Uh,
We can also, it's optional. We can also, run without this else part.
So do we have break and continue like other programming?
Yes, we have that. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. So till now it is clear, right? Then I will go to the next one. Clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right, while one print test. What is going to happen, guys?
Infinitely.
One will give error because we are not giving any condition. We are just giving 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Anyone wants to take a guess?
It will go in infinite.
Else part will get executed. No, no, no. It will get. Yeah, else part will get executed.
Else part will be getting executed. Okay, let's try to run this. Any reason why else part will be executed? One, it will take it as false or true.
I think it doesn't understand whether it is true or false. Maybe it's a number.
Okay, if it's not understanding, it will give an error, right? The Python compiler is not able to understand. So, okay, let me run this. What is happening, guys?
it's entering into loop and printing.
It went into an infinite loop, right? Why this is not stopping also? I have to forcefully close this window. Yes, okay. Okay, guys. So, and if I give it as 0 here, what it's printing in
else
else
block.
block. Why is this behavior? Can anyone tell me?
Non-zero values are always treated as true.
Yes, if you guys remember when I covered Boolean, about Boolean thing, any non-zero value is considered as true and any zero value is considered as false. You can recall from the previous class, we discussed
Yes,
this.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so same thing here. Okay, non-zero value will be considered as true, zero value will be considered as false. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now I have this problem to solve. Like I want the user to enter as many numbers as he wishes. Okay, so user will enter as many number, and once the user enters negative number, okay, we will find the sum of all the numbers except that negative number. Is the question clear, guys? Is the question clear?
Yes.
Yes.
How are you going to achieve this, guys? Any idea? How are we going to approach this problem?
As we will build logic on pen and paper by taking some numbers, and then after that we will applying that logic.
But the condition here is we are not sure whether user will enter one number, two number, three number, four number, five numbers, right? The user can enter 100 numbers, 10 numbers. Okay, that is one challenge here. So whenever you get this kind of problems, okay, always remember you have to run a infinite loop. Okay. Inside this infinite loop, you will ask the user to enter the input. Okay, in this way, guys, if I run this, it will keep on asking me this input, enter the number, right? Yes or
Yes.
no? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So when are we going to terminate, come out of this infinite loop? When the user, if the number is negative number, right?
Yes.
So if the number is negative, we have to come out of the loop. How do we come out of a loop? With the help of
Break.
break. Okay, this is like coming out of the loop, like if you give break, it will come out of the loop. As simple as that. Okay, but it's not only about coming out of the loop. We have to find the sum of all the numbers that the user is entering, right? How do we find the sum, guys, of all the numbers? Can we take a variable like this, sum of numbers equals to, we are initializing is 0. Okay, each time the user gives one input, we are going to add that to this sum. Where if it is 0, number is less than 0. Okay, but here the problem will be, let's say the user enters a negative number, right? Okay, let me execute it, then it will be understood better. Okay, while true, if the number is less than 0, break. Else we don't need to give the else part. Automatically it will, if we don't give else part, automatically it will go to the beginning of the file. condition checking. Okay, guys. And if it is less than 0, print the sum and break, come out of it. Understood this, guys? Yes, no? This logic what we are writing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone, guys. Anyone having a doubt, please feel free to ask me. Don't hesitate. Okay. Okay, so let me run this in this here in this one. Okay, so let's put it here. 1 minute. We'll go back. Okay, so initially sum of numbers equals to 0, forward while true. Okay, number. Now it will ask me enter the number. Okay, so I hope they will allow me to enter some number here. So I'm giving as 10. Can we give type 10? No, sorry, they will have this. They don't have the option to ask the user to give input. Fine. Let me go back to in our case only. Okay, so let me run this. Enter the number 10. Again 2. Again. Now I will give -5. So it's a negative number. Now it will come out of the loop, guys. Okay. What is the sum? Is the sum correct? What we wanted?
No.
No.
No. What was our condition here in the problem? When the user enters negative, we will find the sum of all the numbers except that negative number. Right? Then how do we achieve that, guys? Because we are taking the input, we are adding it here only. How can we achieve that so that this negative number is not added to our result?
Said
We
if
will
loop.
subtract that number before
We
print.
should put it after if number less than 0. The sum underscore numbers plus equal to number.
Yes,
Like
this is one approach. This is a good approach. We can, put it after the. Is it in this here?
if we put if number greater than 0,
Okay, if number greater than 0,
then else
then print this, and else we don't need to print it here, right? Because each time it is going to print them. Okay. So we will move it and we give else here. Else here we can print it, right? If it is greater than 0, then fine. If it is not greater than 0, then that means it's either 0 or a negative number, right? There are two scenarios. So we can make it as greater than equal to 0 is also fine. Now, if it is not greater than or equal to, then obviously it will be negative number. Okay? Then we can print our result here. Sum of numbers. Okay, so if I run this now, enter the number 10, enter the number 2, enter the number -5. Okay, we have not given the F in front. We run it again. 12, 2, -2, we're getting 14. Now we are getting the correct output, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so who has not understood this, guys? Anyone having any doubt, any questions? Everyone understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now Okay, now we will see. Yeah. Okay, so this was a single loop that we were executing with. Okay, now we also have the nested loops, one loop inside another loop.
That I have a doubt. So we have
Yes.
provided the else condition, right?
Yes.
So is that else belongs to that while or if?
You always see the indentation here. So see this, if else and if and else are on the same level, right?
Mm,
So it belongs to if. This else belongs to this if.
But I have
Okay.
I want to discuss one thing.
Yes,
So
sure.
there it is in infinite loop, like while true, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it will go inside
Yeah.
and it will take an input.
Yes.
If it is greater than 0 or equal to,
Yeah.
then it will take sum.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will print the sum of the numbers.
Yes.
So why it is like coming outside of the loop? Like it is not false, right? It will go again in the loop, right?
Okay, we have not used break here also, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the break here. Okay, so that's right. Why? How? No, it did not come out. See, it's again it's still running. Enter the number, right?
Yeah,
It's
but like I'm not able to understand how it is coming out of the loop without any
no, it is
condition.
not. It is not coming out of the loop. It is still running. You see, this enter the number. I missed it. This one. You see the last
So
output. See what is
is
happening now? 12 2 minus 2. Okay,
hmm,
so 12 it went to the if block. 2 it went to the if block. Okay. Now we are giving a -2. So -2 it is going to the else block and it is printing this. And again it is asking me the input. If you see the last statement in our console, what is the last statement?
enter the number again. It
So
got
that means the program is not terminated. It's my bad. I missed that break statement there.
yeah, so ideally it should be terminated, right?
No, terminated. This is the infinite loop. Now, until unless you give break,
Yeah,
there's no way it can terminate.
yeah,
It
yeah. So
will keep on
break should
running.
be there, right?
Yes, yes, that's what I told. It's my miss. I just missed that break statement. And this program is not terminated. Still, if I give the number here, see, still it is running, right? See again, and some of the numbers again, it is asking me the input. Understood, Shivam?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me forcefully terminate this. Okay, so yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I just missed this break statement after giving the. Okay. Fine, yes. Now, if I run this, enter the number 12, enter the number 2, enter the number 0, enter the number -2. So now it's terminated, right? Some of the numbers. Okay, guys.
Can you please execute the program again and give only 0?
We are handling 0 here. You see this? Greater than
No,
equal to
no,
0.
just give only 0 as the input. Just want to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the next input we should give here? 0,
Some negative number.
Now mine.
negative number. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we are handling it here. Greater than equal to 0.
is that break keyword belongs to while because we are making
No,
maintaining indentation right here.
no. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Why? This is part of. It will be inside the while loop only. Okay. You see, loop all the statements that are maintaining this indentation. They are part of while block. Okay. But this break we are giving inside else. So inside while we have else and inside else we have break.
Ganesh, I do not understand why we are adding the if? It was running also, right? Before adding the if also.
Oh, you are okay. You were telling why
Why? why do we added if condition? It was running before, I mean, without adding the if condition also. Right?
No, the if condition is, you see, our question here is when the user enters a negative number. Okay, then we have to check whether the number is negative or positive with the help of this condition checking. If we don't check this condition, then we will not know then when to terminate. So the terminating condition from this loop is when the user enters negative number, it will exit the loop.
Okay, okay.
So that is why we have to give if here. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
got it. Got
Yes,
it.
okay. Some good questions are coming, guys. I would encourage you guys to ask more questions. Okay. Any other doubt, guys? Here, anyone? Okay. If no questions, then we will see this one nested loops, one loop inside another loop. Okay. So let's say we have two variables called I as 3. I is 1 and j as 5. Okay. One loop while let's say I want to run it for 4 times, guys. I want to run this loop 4 times. So what shall be my condition here? What will be the value I will give? I want to run this loop 4 times.
Till
J,
I should be less than 5.
But I should be less than 5.
6.
4 times I want to execute. Okay. So I less than 5. Let's say I'm going to print I and I plus equals to 1. Save it. Nested loop. Okay, if I run this, we got 4 times. Okay. Now, can we do it like this also? Let's say instead of I'm giving a condition while j is greater than 0. While j is greater than 0, print j, and instead of plus, I will give a j minus equals to. Is this going to work, guys? Is there any mistake in the condition or the update condition, anything?
I think it starts with 5.
Here it will start with 5. It will print 5. Then the value of j will be 4. Then
it will print 5 times.
Will print
it will print only 5 times, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, fine. So we can have this condition also, guys. We can, either it can increase it and go, or you can decrease it and go. Both ways. If you want to print, suppose welcome 5 times, okay, then you can either take I as 1 and go till 6, I less than 6, or you can take j as 5 and then go on the reverse way. Okay, both are fine for running the loop. Now coming back to our this one topic, what we have nested loops we are talking about here. Let me again reinitialize the value of both I and j as 1. Okay, and in this first condition is, let's say while I is less than, I say 4. Okay, and inside this I have another loop called j while j is less than 4. We have 2 loops. Okay, and then I am printing here I comma j. Okay, let me comment out the first. Okay, so let me just copy this and go to this particular line here. Okay, guys, so while I is have we no, I have not run. I have to initialize it. Initialize it. But we changing the condition, guys? Updating the condition? Like, are we changing the value of I and j? If not, then it will enter into infinite loop, right?
Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to change the condition like print I comma j and then increase the value of j by 1. Okay, and increase the value of I by 1. Okay, so this entire thing is part of the while nested while. Okay, and this thing it's part of this I equals to I plus 1 is part of this while block. Both are different. Like by the indentation you can assume. Okay, whatever is at the same level of this while is part of the outer loop, and whatever is part of this indentation is part of the inner loop. So these two statements are part of inner loop, and this while and this I is part of outer loop. Okay, guys. So let me just copy this. Okay, I is 1, j is 1, while I less than 4. True or false, guys?
True.
True. While j less than 4. True or false?
True.
True. So we're going to print I comma j 1 comma 1. Okay, I is 1, j is 1. Now what is happening? We are increasing the value of j. Now the value of j is 2, right? And where did the control go, guys? Again to the inner while loop. Now 2 is less than 4, right or wrong?
True.
So it will print 1 comma 2. Again, it is changing the value of j. J is 3 now. 3 is less than 4. True, it will print 1 comma 3. Now the value of j is 4. So this condition will be false.
False.
Now tell me, where will the control go? Will it go
Outer while.
outer while? So that statement I equals to I plus 1 or directly to the condition check?
First I is equal to I plus 1, then it will check the outer loops condition.
Okay, so if I click here, you see where is the control? I equals to I plus 1, right? Now I is 2. So
Right.
again, now what is the value of j, guys?
4. Can we reset the value after first while for j?
Yes, that is what I have just to do. Okay. So, but since j is 4 now, so this statement will be false, right? It will not enter this while loop,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So it will again change the value of I. I will be 3, but again, since we are not reinitializing the value of j to 1, so that is why it is not entering this while loop. Okay. So now I will be 4 and this condition will be false and our program will be terminated. So what I missed out, I missed reinitializing the value of j here. Okay. So after this while loop or here also, we can just reinitialize the value. We can make the value of j as 1 again. Okay. J as 1 again. Now if I execute this, so now j is 4, this condition will be false. The value of I will change. J will again be equal to 1. Now I less than 4 is true. J is also less than 4. True or false, guys? Now j less than 4 or not?
True.
True. So again it will print I comma j. Okay, now it will again go to the outer loop. I is 3 now. Condition is true. Again j is 1. So this will print this. So now this will be terminated, okay? Because now j is less than 4, false, I is also 4, j is 1. Now you check I 4 less than 4, false, and it will terminate. Okay, this is your final output. So this is how the inner loop behaves, okay? So like if I go back to the program, so what will happen now, guys? When I is 1, for I 1, this entire loop will be executed, like till 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, when I will be 2, again this entire loop will be executed. So for each value of the outer loop, the inner loop will execute completely. Always remember this, okay? For each value of the outer loop,
So we can consider in context of SQL, it is kind of cross join. Like first it will.
correct, yes. In terms of SQL cross sign, yes, best way to understand. Anyone who has not understood this, guys? See, loops are very important to understand, okay? Because there will be a lot of coding code if you have to do, you have to be in interviews also. They will ask you to do a shorter list. So there also you have to use nested loop. Although for loop, when we will come to for loop is much more easier than this while loop because we don't have to initialize and update automatically. That will happen. Okay. But while loop, see, like what we are doing updating the condition here. These things are not required in for loop. So when we will study for loop, you will see that it is much simpler than this while loop. Okay.
So how can we get an idea like in that scenario we can use this nested while or something like that?
Yes, that depends on the problem. So I will show you one problem. Okay. Let's say okay, first let's write a simple program, check whether a number is prime or not. Prime number, guys, everyone knows what is prime number?
This time it divisible by 1 and itself only.
Yes, it is divisible by 1 and itself. Okay. Let's say we have a number 23. How will I check whether this number is prime or not?
If it is divisible by other than 1 and 23, then it is not a prime.
Okay, then how to write the code for logic for that? Forget about 1. Okay, 1, every number is divisible by 1. Let's remove that one thing. From 2 if we start. Okay, so how are we going to write this?
We will take a loop from 2 to number less than 1.
Okay, so let's take a loop and we are initializing it as 2 while 2 is less than the number.
Yeah.
Number is n here, 23. And what we have to check?
If number is divisible by j,
If the number, like number in the sense n, right? Yeah, number is divisible by like mod we can do, mod
Mod.
equals to 0.
0.
Then
Yeah,
what will happen if it is 0 then?
not a prime number.
Then it is not a print n is not a prime number. And if it is not 0, then what shall we do? So if it is not a prime number, we have to come out, right? Immediately, we don't need to, for
Yeah.
example, if it is 24 and if it is divisible by 2, then immediately we need to come out, or we need to go like do all the execution, like to check all the numbers. We can easily come out, right?
Yeah.
How will we come out of
Right.
this?
Right.
Because the value of j we are not changing right now. It's the first j only. We can use a break, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So break is like, it's not a, we can say it's like unnatural termination. Okay. It's not a natural termination. What will be the natural termination here when the value of j will be equal to n, right? Or unnatural is the abnormal termination. Abnormal termination of a loop. Okay. Is done by break. Right. If it is, now tell me guys, if let's forget else condition, okay? Okay, if this is this, else what we need to do, we can increase the value of j, right? J plus equals to 1, because j we have to update the condition, right? It will be 2 first, then 3, then 4, then 5, like that. Okay, and like it's not a prime number. Then okay, till now it's clear to everyone, guys, how we are solving this. Till now, any doubt in this problem what we're trying to solve? Is this code clear to everyone?
Understand.
But I have a problem with this code. We are printing is not a prime number, right? If it is a prime number, we should print this also, right? It is a prime number. Where are we going to execute this? Write this. When will we be sure that this is a prime number? Can anyone tell me where I am going to print this? We are printing, okay, if it is divisible by 0, it's a prime number, not a prime number. Can I write this print statement here and say it's the prime number in this? Can I write here? We cannot write here. Then where shall we
So
write this?
we can take kind of like flag value, like when it will.
Yes, you are going in the right direction only. Tell me. Yes, you can take a flag value. You're not audible, guys. Anyone speaking?
First take a flag value before like initializing. Let's see, let contain as it is as 0.
Okay, 0. Okay.
And if it would be divisible because of modulo, then we will change that to 1.
We'll change it to 1.
So
Okay.
that means it has been divided by an other number with other than 1 and itself. So it is not a prime number.
Okay.
So after coming out of the loop, we will keep a condition like if flag is equal to 0, that means it was not converted to 1 and it was not divisible by any number between 1 or that number. So it is a prime number now.
Is this understood by everyone? What Shivam just now told me, the logic. Anyone?
Can you please run this? I'm not sure it will work.
This should work. So example 24. Okay. Let's say 24. Let's see this. Prime number checking. So the number is 24, right? 24 is prime or not, guys?
Not a problem.
Let's give a prime number 23. So its logic is working. Has everyone understood this?
Can you explain?
Yeah, sure. So what we are doing here, this case, you understood why we introduced flag at the very first step. Why did we introduce flag? Because we wanted to print what we wanted to print, if the number is prime or not. Okay. So we were able to print the number is not a prime number, but we were not sure whether the number, when to print number is prime or not. Okay. Till this it was understood by everyone, right? If it is divisible by 0, then it's a prime number, right? So I would like to, I would like to visualize this, then it would be more better for you to understand 1 minute. So what is happening here? Okay, guys. So n is 23. Let's see how the code flows. Okay. J is 2. So 2 less than 23, guys. You see J and N. Yes or no?
Yes.
So n mod J, 23 mod 2 is not equal to 0. It will come to the else part and it will increment J. Right now J will be 3. 3 less than 23. Again, it will go on like this. Okay. So the problem that might happen, okay, let me change the input, then it will be, let's make it instead of 20, I'm giving 25, guys, okay, 25. So in case of 25, okay, so 25 mod 2 is not equal to 0, it will come to else part. Now in this else part, we cannot print. Why? Because we still have more condition to check. Okay, if it is not divisible by 2, no problem. We'll check if it is divisible by 3 or not, right?
Right.
4 or not. Okay, so in this case, when J is 5, then this condition is true. Okay, we are printing this. Okay, but before that, it went to the else block 4 or 5 times, right? So we should not print here that this number, we are not sure still, until unless this condition is totally satisfied. Then only we will be sure, okay, then it is prime number. But in between it is coming there 3-4 times, we are not sure. So we cannot print here that, this number is prime inside this else block. So is this clear? We cannot, why we are not printing here? Because we are checking continuously. We have to check till, before that number 23, we have to check till 22 whether that number is visible or not. Right? So we cannot put it here. So what we did, we took a flag. Okay. Now why we're taking this flag? This is just for, let's make it for our understanding. I will tell you why we are taking it. Okay. So I will just mention here, we will make the flag true if it is if it is divisible by some number. So initially let's say we are making it as false, okay? Or you can make it flag, or instead of, this is a variable name, guys. I will just say prime. This is also a variable name. Is prime. So maybe I'm making is prime as false. Okay. So when we come here, if it is divisible, we will not print anything here now. Okay, we are not going to print anything here. We will just update the value of price prime. Okay. When it is divisible, we will make the value as, what is happening? If it is divisible, I will make that is prime as false. Okay. By default, the value will be true. By default, the value will be true. So that means if your code is not entering this if block, then this value will be true, guys, at the end, right?
Right. By default, it is true. So
By default, it is true. When it will be false, when it is divisible by some number.
Right.
If it is not divisible by any number, this value will be intact. It will not change,
Yes.
right? So at the end, we will just check what is the value of this. If is prime equals to true, then we will mention the number is prime, else we'll print the number is not prime. Clear, everyone? So this is very important, guys, because you have to use flag in many coding challenges to solve. You have to make use of this flag. Okay. So understanding this is important. Okay, so if I execute this, the number 23 is prime. Okay. So let's me run that there also, just for visualization purpose. Okay, so here if you see n is 23, j is 2, is prime is true. Okay, by default is prime is true. So now it will check the condition. If n mod j equals to 0, no. That will just continue. Again, it will increase the value of j. Okay, is 23 divisible by 3? No. Okay, so in this case, it will never enter this block, and the value of is prime will be true, right? It will not be false because it is not entering this block. And at the end, we are just checking the value of is prime. If it is false, then we will mention the number is not prime. If it is true, we will mention the number is prime. Now the value of j is 23. This condition is false. It will come here. And in this, it will check if is prime equals to true. Yes, the number is prime. And the program is terminated. Okay, how many of you have not understood this, guys? Please tell me, don't hesitate. This is important. This is an important concept, guys. We will solve many coding challenges where we have to use a flag like this is prime. Okay, let me take another example. Let's now give some number that is divisible, like 25. Okay, so this 25 is not a prime number. Okay, so let me visualize this execution for this. So if you see this n24 is prime is true. Okay, we are assuming the number is prime. Okay, this we are assuming by giving it a true value. We are assuming this prime. Okay. Next. So j less than n, guys, true or false here? 2 less than 25.
True.
True. And 25 is divisible by 2. True or false?
False.
It will enter the else block. Okay. Now j is 3. This is true. This is false. Again, it will come here. Again, j is 4. 25 is not divisible by 4. So this is false. Again, it will enter else. Now you see j is 5. Now 25 is divisible by 5. Okay. Now what we assume that this is prime, here our assumption is going to be wrong. Okay. So now the value of is prime is changing. Now it is false, and it will break out of the loop, and it will check here. If is prime equals to true, no, then that means it is false. The number is not prime. This is how the flow is happening. Clear, everyone? Understood? Not understood? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing only few yes, guys. What about others? Have you understood this?
Yes, Ganesh.
Okay. So, guys, this is not a good practice to write is prime equals to true. Okay, we can only have this number only if is prime. Okay, is prime already is having only true or false value, right? So we can just mention if it's prime. Okay, if true, then this, otherwise this. Okay. So number 23 is prime. If I change the number 24, then the number is not a prime number. Clear, guys? Why we are mentioning only is prime instead of writing equal to something?
We're directly giving true here,
Yes.
so it's entering into the for loop.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's condition.
If condition. Okay, this was a single number, guys. I'm checking a single number. But this problem can be made complex by giving you a problem like this. Check all the numbers within 100 that are prime. Okay. All the numbers within 100 that are prime. Here you will be using nested loops. Okay, I'm giving you a hint, but I will give you this as an assignment. Okay, try to do this. Okay, I know for beginners it will be difficult, but I want you guys to try, check in Google, do anything, try to understand. Okay, so at least even if you have 10-20% understanding, then you will have a background, and then in the next class, if you are not able to solve, I will help you to solve it. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Okay, this is a very common interview question. Okay, check all the numbers within a given range, prime or not. Fine. Okay, so this will be an assignment. Let it be. Okay, so while loop we have seen these two, what else do we have? Okay, if you are able to solve this problem, then automatically I think nested loop will also be clear with for you guys, and this flag condition, how we are setting the flag and checking this will also be clear. Okay, now coming to for loops. We have seen while loop. Yeah. Now coming to this for loop. So for loop and range. Okay, so let's say if we took the first example of while loop that we saw was printing welcome 10 times. Okay, so if we have to do the same with for loop, print welcome 10 times, how are we going to do it? So for loops, guys, we use a function called range function with for loop. Okay, so I'll just show you the syntax here. Let's say this I is any variable name, and we make use of this range function. Okay, this range function can take three parameters. Okay, one is the starting value, one. Let's say I'm starting with one. This is the ending value. Like before this, it will be terminated. 11 means it will go till 10. Okay, and by default, this is the step value. Like even if you don't give one, it will take it as one by default. Okay. So this is one liner. And then we will print just welcome. Save as Day3. This is for I run this. Let's say I'm printing the value of I. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, nine. Okay, so this range function. Let's talk a little bit about this range function. So range function takes three parameters. Okay, first one is the starting value. If you don't give any value, default value will be 0. Okay, for example, if I remove this 1 starting value, I give only 11. Okay, then you will see it will start with 0. See this, guys? Okay, default value is 0. Next one is the ending value. So the loop will terminate it will terminate one value before this. Okay, excluding ending value will be excluded. Okay, it will not be included. So 11 will be excluded. Before 10, it will stop. Okay, it will stop one value before it. And this is the mandatory parameter, ending value. Okay, ending value is the mandatory parameter that you have to give. If you don't give it, you will get some error. So if you give only one value, it will take that as an ending value. Okay. If you give only one, for example, if we are giving 11, so it is taking that as the ending value. It will be considered as ending value. Okay, and then we have something called step value. So step value by default will be 1. Default will be 1. So in this case, the default value of step is 1. Okay. Let's say I'm giving starting value as 1, ending value is 11. I'm giving step value as 2. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? Starting value is 1. Okay. I will be 1. And then the next value will be 3. 1 plus 2, 3. The next value will be 3 plus 2, 5. Then 5 plus 2, 7. Okay. This way it will be implemented. Okay. So if I run this loop, see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now 9 plus 2 was 11. So that is why 11 is the ending value. It did not print it. Clear so far in this? Anyone any doubt in this range function and this the value of this? Is this clear, guys? You tell me if I give here 5, then what will be the output?
It print only welcome to
1, then 6.
1 then 6, right? Welcome 1 and welcome 6.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll run this. Okay, welcome 1, welcome 6. What if I give a negative value here? What if I give a negative?
It will give error, I think.
Error, not going to print anything. Okay. So always remember in range function, if you give a negative value, you give negative as a negative value is a step value. Okay, if you give step value as negative, then the starting value should be greater than the ending value. Okay, let's see an example. So let's see this. Let's make this as starting value as 10. Okay, and ending value as 0, and step value is -1. Okay, so first value will be 10, second value will be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, like that. And let me change correct this. print I'm just putting open. So if I run this guys, so we have 1 to 10 and then we have 10 to 1. Okay guys, but if you give some if I give a positive value here, okay, then what will happen? Your nothing will be printed. Won't give any error, but nothing will be printed. Okay, because this is expecting when you give a positive value, then the starting value should be less than the ending value. But here the starting value is greater, so it is expecting a negative value. Okay. Clear, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So what difference do you find between this for loop and while loop in terms of syntax and not in terms of syntax, but see, while loop we had to do 3 things. If you remember, while loop initialization. Okay, so in this case we don't have to declare in a separate variable, right? We are doing this in the range function, right? So this initialization and this updation, this is automatically being handled by the range function. Correct? One I value is 1. So if I run this in this visualization thing, you will see here. Guys, go on mute, guys. I can hear some noise. Those are not speaking, please go on mute. Yes, okay. So if I visualize this, if you see this for I in the range, okay. So I is 1 initially, it is printing welcome 1. Now it again went back to that same condition, checking now the value of I automatic. We are not changing. Are we doing I equals to I plus 1? It is automatically changing. See this, right, guys? So this is the beauty of for loop and an advantage of over while loop, that we don't have to update the condition. It is automatically changing it. Clear, guys? Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was
Danish, if we give a single parameter in the range,
yes.
um, then do we need to exclusively give the increment, or
No, if
it
you
will
give a
by
single
default?
by default, if you see step value default will be 1.
Okay.
Okay, so you can run it here also. You can just see I'm giving only, let's say, 1 parameter, say 5. So 5. If I forward this, so automatically see by default it took the starting value as 0. We have not given 0 anywhere, right? See I 0.
Yes.
Okay, so I 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, and it will stop till up till 4. It will go and then it will stop. Okay, stop now.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? Any doubt? Have you understood this for loop range function? How it is behaving?
Yeah, but I need to practice more.
You need to obviously you need to solve problems. You need to solve, the more problems you solve, the more your understanding will be clear. Okay. And this for loop can also have an else condition, like what we have in with while loop, guys. You can also have it here also. Although you will rarely find it anywhere mentioned about it, but this is part of this Python syntax. Okay. So print it is out of range. Okay. I'm just checking whether it will take the value of I or not. Just check. I is out of range, or I can be considered as only visible in this loop. I'm just checking that. Okay. So let me run this. Oh, I have not given abstract there. Yeah, so it's taking the value. So 10 is out of range. Okay, so this for loop also can have an else condition, although you will rarely see anyone using it. But in case if you know some questions, MCQ interviews, they might drill you. So you already have the knowledge. While and for both, you can use an else. Okay. Fine, guys. So let this be like that. And so in case of nested, just like while loop, nested while loop, we can also have a nested for loop also. Like let's say for I in the range of 5. Execution wise, it will be same. But here you will see the good thing of this is unlike nested while loop where we had to do so much effort, right? We had to again reinitialize the value of j to 1, right? And things like that we don't have to do here. Let me open. So that is the difference between the two. Let me open nested loop. Nested loop. Yes. So in this case, see while I less than 4. Okay, so let me give the similar condition here. Okay, so 1 to 4. Okay, 1 to 4. And in this, then what we printing, and then we have to see, we have to increase the value of j, right? And we have to increase the value of I, and then again we had to reinitialize the value of j as 1, right, guys? Remember? So these from these headaches, what we are saved, no, we don't have to, again, increase the value, then again reinitialize the value. So automatically, whatever output this will give, this will also give the same output. Okay, so if I run this, so this 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 1 3 2 3 3. This is much simpler, right? We don't have the headache of increasing and then reinitializing J and all. Right, guys? Much simpler than that. Any doubt, guys? Are we clear so far? Nested one. So what have we covered today? Why Python is platform independent. What is .pyc file? We covered this. We saw also, inline if condition we saw, and we saw while loop and for loop. We also saw definite loop and indefinite loop, right? How we infinite loop. We saw that also. Okay, guys, let me know if any doubt, guys. Otherwise, we are good for today's session. Okay. Any question, any doubt, guys? Anyone? I hope all of you can see your respective folder over here where you need to submit your assignments. Right? You can see many people have submitted the assignments also. Like so he submitted, see, Irfan has submitted class 1 assignment. Similarly, so you also guys, once you finish the assignment, just put it in the folder which is in your name, and just drop me a message in WhatsApp that I have submitted. Okay, so I will check and come back. So is there anyone like whoever has sent me the assignment I have checked? Is there anyone whose assignment I have not yet checked, have not responded? Anyone is there? No, right? So I have checked all the assignments. Fine. Okay, guys. Any other question, guys? Anything, or else we'll wind up the session for today. Okay. Then do work on the
Can you
assignment.
ping the URL
Yes.
for that debugger?
Oh, this one, the where I'm writing this
Right,
visualizer.
yes.
Yeah, sure. I am pinging it here. I'm pinging it in this chat. Okay, I pinged in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, guys, if no questions, then thank you guys. Thank you for your time. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.
Right, thank you.
Thanks, sir.